My mom being an immigrant from Germany who came over here, I didn't really have the full career or college education. So to support the family, she ended up having to have 3 jobs. I grew up in a little city called San Anselmo, California. We would, every Friday, we'd close off the streets. It would be big wheel hour. And all the parents would come out and, some parents had the cocktail hour where they would go and have their drinks while we were playing. And then at the end of the night, it was always my home that they would come to for chocolate chip cookies and milk. My mother always had that prepared. And so I grew up in this really wonderful Leave It to Beaver neighborhood. It didn't last as long as one would have thought. My parents ended up getting divorced. I think I was in the 8th grade when that took place. So that really had a very big impact on my childhood. And my mother always instilled in me, because even during high school, I said, I'm never going to college. And she goes, oh, yeah, you are. So no child ever wants to become an accountant or an enrolled agent. I didn't. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I ended up working as a secretary for a local CPA firm. I asked if I could go to school, if they would allow me to go to college. And so I ended up going to college 2 days a week full time. I took 15 credits and I worked the remaining 3 days full time at the CPA firm. I think working in that small firm, he was one of the mentors. And I don't even think he thought of himself as a mentor, but he was one of them that I would go to with a tax return and say, here it is. And he would shoot it back to me and say it's wrong without even looking at it. And I go, what do you mean it's wrong? And I'd go back to my office. I'd check the numbers. I'd check the forms. I'd come back. I would say it's right. He'd slide it right back at the table and say, nope, it's wrong. And finally, in my young arrogance of all of 21 years old, I'm like, I don't know what, you didn't even take a look at it. How do you know it's wrong? This is absolutely correct. I marked every box. And the first words out of his mouth were, did you ask me a question? No, I didn't need to. Oh, so you know who this client is? No. Do you know what he does for a living? No. So you have no idea what he does for a living, what industry he's in, what write-offs he can have, what type of personality he is, what he's looking for, where he wants to be? No, I don't. Then it's not good. Come back with questions. One of the biggest lessons that I learned working in that CPA firm was the fact that a tax return is more than numbers in boxes. It's actually the person behind it. I worked for that firm for 6.5 years. It put me through college. I got my accounting degree. And then I decided I wanted a little bit of change. And so I ended up in corporate America. I ended up working for a subsidiary of General Electric. From there, I ended up working in an international firm. Loved it, what that helped me do. I think I was responsible for converting 7 different countries' financial statements into a United States financial statement package. I worked for Oracle Corporation, where I was responsible for changing very large government entities, changing from their accounting software into Oracle software. That helped expand my knowledge on a variety of different industries, because I wasn't with just one set of companies. I was actually working with quite a bit, and they were very large companies. These were utility companies. These were larger corporations that were doing these types of conversions. Then I ended up working for a startup company, because of course at that time, in the 2000s, as we all remember, everybody was starting up their own new company that was going to take us through the internet age. But at that point, I also found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And so here I am with no money coming in and a brand newborn baby. And I was also a single mother at that time. And I knew at that point that if I was to go back out to corporate America and start, I couldn't compete with these college-age kids that were coming out, because truthfully, I wanted to be there for my daughter. Well, here I am now, unemployed, with a brand new baby and no job. So of course I move in with mom. Well, lo and behold, a 55 plus community means you can't have a newborn. So what we ended up doing is we ended up listing that home on the market, put money down in another home. That failed, and the three of us found ourselves homeless.
Upon hearing this news, some dear friends took them in, providing them a temporary home. Monika knew she needed to find a way to get back on her feet, both for her mom and her daughter. It was at that friend's house, on the front porch, where Decision Financial began to take shape. Monika started by sending out 1,000 letters and soon landed her first client. After several months, Decision Financial was off the ground. They got their own place, and all three of them, together, were on a path to a better life.
As things are progressing very well within Decision Financial Services, my mom becomes ill, and she ended up having her first stroke. The remaining 5 years, my life changed quite a bit. Watching mom's health, as she started to deteriorate, then dementia set in, then there was surgeries, there was more doctor's appointments. I was truly grateful to be there for my mom because she never had to worry. I took her to the doctor. I visited her when she was in the facility. I came every day to the hospital to talk to her. I was her advocate for her when she was in the hospital. I was there up until the last breath that she took. That one pivotal moment, it all came to light as to the whole reason of why Decision Financial Services truly got started. And it was that. It was to be able to be there for my mother as her last remaining time. And every time I look back, I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity, that moment. I was a single mother. I took care of a dying parent. I've actually gone through a divorce. I've done all of these things, established a business. I moved across country. I reset up again in Texas where I am today. All of this. And what that has given me is the opportunity to relate to everyone that comes through my door. One of the things that is very important to me running this company that I really instill in my staff is that for them to understand that each person that's coming in here is different. And every person that walks through here has a story that we want to hear about. And we completely understand, and there's probably not one member of my team that hasn't had a similar story. The intention is that you are able to trust Decision Financial Services and feel confident and empowered enough and secure enough to pursue your passion.